welcome back to episode 53 of the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast, the unfiltered podcast for hockey parents. No politics, no sugarcoating, just real talk for hockey parents in the trenches. Buddy.
Nailed it. And dude, you got the episode right, unlike myself.
I was going to say, it's all good though.
Yeah.
All good. Do we have an episode?
Do we ever?
My goodness gracious, do we have an episode?
Yeah, that was a good job by you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Good job by you. I know you did what you needed to do.
It was not easy.
Yeah, you were persistent.
That's like putting it mildly.
My man.
Dude, it was not easy. This was our hardest one by leaps and bounds.
Okay, well, listen.
This was not easy.
Listen, if you put your mind to it.
Listen, it worked, but it was not easy.
Okay.
So I hope everybody enjoys it because he's a sick guest.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, how about before that, you mentioned our partners?
Howie's, which one do you want to start with? Want to go with Howie's Hockey?
I mean, I think we always start with
We
Howie's
do,
Hockey.
don't we? Yeah. Howie's Hockey, Crazy 10. Go get your tape, laces, Scott's favorite, the candle, the yellow handled scissors, their gear, their wax, their laces, their tape. Love Howie's Hockey. It's a constant thing in my household.
Why do you call it scissors? Did we already have this conversation?
We did, because a couple podcasts ago, I said maybe I didn't enunciate scissors well. Something along those lines.
Oh, it wasn't like an intentional.
No, it was something like that. So now I say scissors.
Oh,
yeah, the yellow handled scissors.
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
You do say that.
Yes, I do. Just to be funny.
Okay, well, got it. Scissors.
Yeah. So Howie's Hockey, Crazy 10 for a 10% discount. Go get your gear, tape, laces, whatever you need from Howie's. They have everything, and their clothes are pretty cool too. So Crazy 10 for Howie's Hockey for a 10% discount.
That's right. And let's shout out Coach Kevin, hockeytraining.com.
Love
one
Coach
of our
Kev.
newest partners. Just can't say enough about this guy. If you haven't listened to the episode, go back and listen to it. Jane, what episode number was it with Coach Kevin? Do you remember?
He was, I want to say 48. Does that sound right?
Well,
God, you keep talking. All
right. So, if any event, for those of you that don't know Coach Kevin,
48. Coach Kev.
Good on you,
Coach Kev.
All right, awesome. So, he's got an online platform, hockeytraining.com, and he's got an incredible library of skills training, stick handling, off ice speed, strength, agility. If your kid wants to get quicker feet, quicker hands, stronger stride, this is the place.
Yeah.
Coach Kevin runs legit virtual stick handling classes as well.
Stuff's great.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So we need to get the kids on there.
We do,
So,
yeah. And we'll post that on our social media.
Yeah.
The kids doing the stick handling class. But Coach Kevin's got some great stuff. Great workouts. They're short. They're concise. They're to the point.
Tremendous off ice programs to work on, like I said, speed, strength, and agility that actually translates to on ice, not just for kids, for anyone out there that's playing men's league, beer league, whatever you want to call it. There's men's league domination, which is a training program.
Your favorite?
My favorite, yeah. Subscriber to Men's League Domination 23.
Yeah.
As in like the year 2023.
Does he update it every year?
They come out with new editions.
They do, don't they?
Yeah. They do.
Yeah.
I've
No,
got
he's
2023.
consistently doing more and more on all this stuff, which is great. The fact that he updates.
Yeah.
Love Coach Kevin.
Definitely check out hockeytraining.com.
Hockey Training HQ is his Instagram.
Yes.
Love Coach Kevin.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Next one, Titan Battle Gear. All right. If you guys want, we push on this podcast safety for our kids. Titan Battle Gear has the safest stuff around by far as base layers go, protecting your kids. We spend enough money on this game. So go to www.titanbattlegear.com/crazyhockeydads and use the code crazydads10 for 10% off on your Titan Battle Gear. Like I said, they have some of the best stuff, the best quality material for cut resistant base layers. They have awesome colors. They have awesome gear. They have their rink life gear, which is like sweatshirts and shorts. But their base layers are tremendous.
Yeah.
And they're very, very cool. So the kids will like them. They have some cool colors.
One of Otto's teammates today.
Which one do you have on?
Whatever's got pink at the bottom of the sleeves.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a white collar.
There's a white with the pink. Yeah.
I only saw like the sleeve and like the
I want to say it's part of like their
collar.
Miami line or something like that.
Whatever it's part of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
good.
pretty badass.
They have good stuff. Yeah.
So one of Otto's teammates had a new layer on this morning. It was great to see.
Yeah. Yeah, Titan Battle, they make great stuff. They make safe stuff. We spend enough money in this game. We got to protect our kids. And they look good too. So Titan Battle Gear, finland.com/crazyhockeydads. Use the code crazydads10 for 10% off your Titan battle gear.
Go get it. And then we got athletic.
Link in the show notes.
Link in the show notes. Athletic Performance Insight for listeners that at this point are probably going to start thinking about next season, as many of you are, considering there's ID skates and tune-up clinics and rumors and this, that, and the next. The other thing that managers and coaches should be thinking about is how you're going to make your team better next year. And one of the ways to do it is with analytics and video review. Athletic Performance Insight API is a platform online where you can have your team's games broken down by Eric's,
good stuff.
Yeah, by Eric's team over there. And what you'll get in return is a dashboard with your team and by game. And you'll have all of the analytics, from team stats to individual stats. You can watch video, break things down by different things: goals, saves, breakouts, failed breakouts, successful breakouts, you name it, you can get it. And it's a great tool to help your team learn and watch to see those on ice mistakes and successes.
Yeah.
So anyway, coaches, take a look at athleticperformanceinsight.com for your next training tool for your team.
Right. Mention Crazy Hockey Dads for a 10% discount.
That's it.
Right. $100 value.
Let's go.
Take that $100 and go buy some Titan battle gear.
There you go. Keep it in the system.
Right. You might as well.
Yeah. But listen,
Nice.
you can use the contact form on his website.
Yes.
Athleticperformanceinsight.com. And Eric will tag a game for free and certainly be more than happy to give you a demo of the software.
He's a great dude.
Yes, he is.
Definitely a great dude. And Bud, I like your threads there.
Yo, tis the season.
Tis the season is right.
Let's see, get it up there.
Oh man. Our USA hockey gear.
Yo, let's go. Women's are playing.
They just finished playing Finland.
Yep. So what? They're 2-0 now.
Yeah, they won 5-0, right? Something like that. 5-0.
Crushing it.
I think 5-0. Yeah.
Crushing it.
I cannot wait for the men's to start.
It's going to be unreal.
So excited.
Yeah.
Yes, and our guest today actually has something to do with that.
Is that what is? Yeah, that was part of his story.
What do you mean?
I'm joking.
I was going to say, I'm like, I couldn't tell if you were being serious or not. Yeah, that was.
Come on.
I wasn't sure. Yes,
It was part of his story.
It was part of his story. Yes.
Yeah, but before we get to him, just want to check in because last week when we had Jimmy Dowd on,
yes,
New Jersey legend.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we did not talk hockey, which is fine, but just wanted to check in because I know you guys are done with games at this point.
We
right?
are done with games. I know you guys had a game this morning.
We did.
We have no games. We have this was the makeup weekend.
Okay.
So we are done. We have playoffs next weekend.
How'd you guys finish?
Second in the league.
Did you? No.
Second in our division.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever that is, you know what I mean. So we're second in
I
our
didn't
division.
realize that you guys are better than I thought you were.
No, we have a good hockey team, you know. So we are second in our division. I think there's like 36 total teams in the entire thing.
Yeah.
I want to say we're like, I'm actually looking up as we speak. But we are second in our division. Behind a Connecticut team. Strange though. I don't understand it because we're number 2, but we beat that team twice, head to head.
Yeah, because they don't use wins and
They
losses.
don't. They use that Cratch rating
Yeah.
shit. Which does anybody understand? It's like the cloud. Nobody understands the cloud.
What cloud? Like the internet cloud?
Yes.
Or like clouds?
Yes. No, like the internet cloud.
Oh, no one understands
Clearly,
it?
you have not seen that movie. Nobody understands the cloud.
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
No, so I also don't understand the reference.
It's okay.
I'll add that to the list of things I'm not sure of.
It's okay. No, listen, it's all good. The audience knows that your movie game is
Subpar?
I don't want to say subpar, but is
Well, it's not great.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it's it's lacking in spaces.
Okay. Well, you
Nobody understands the cloud.
Okay.
Cameron Diaz. Anyway.
Cameron Diaz?
She's in the movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to say it's from Sex Tape.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Yeah. Wow.
Clearly.
That's your problem.
Well, if that's what you'll call it, it might not be a problem.
It's a pretty funny movie. It was Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz and who else was in that? Jason Segel.
Got it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's funny.
I'll be honest. Who's Jason Segel? No, I should know that, huh?
Yes.
Damn it.
I'm going to show you him, and you will know who I'm talking
Okay.
about. Ready? You will know who I'm talking about. Oh my God, you have no idea who I'm talking about, do you?
Not 100% sure.
Oh, you fucking kidding me. Somebody please help. Somebody, just please help. I don't know what else to say right now, but help.
Well,
Anyway.
yeah.
Anywho.
Moving on from that.
You don't know who that is? Really?
Not so much.
Okay, got it.
I know who Cameron Diaz is. I saw something about Mary.
Got it. Okay. All right, listen. It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. We forgive you.
Franks and Beans.
Great movie.
Yep.
Great movie. Great
What
movie.
did he call it? Taupe? The color of his taupe. That was it.
Great movie, by the way. We need to go back and watch that. I need to go back and watch
Is that the
again.
Frank or the Bean?
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Yeah. So
All right,
he was not in Something About Mary.
No, but she was.
She was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Never saw it.
It's okay. You're not missing a whole lot there.
Okay.
No, he's funny. So he was in the movie Sex Tape. It was good.
Got you.
Nobody understands the cloud. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, so we're done. So we finished second in our division.
Congrats. That's great.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know what it means, but we finished second in our division to a team that we beat twice. So we made the playoffs, whatever that looks like. I guess we're still waiting we're playing 3 teams. We don't know who the second team is yet because I guess they're playing this weekend or something along those lines. So things are still being finalized. I think it's a wild card spot or something along those lines.
Okay.
So there's a total of 33 teams in the entire top to bottom.
And how many make playoffs?
I don't know. We're 5th, top to bottom. In our that's in the division. In our conference, we're 2nd. So we finished
How does that make sense?
29-9.
Oh, that's not good for you.
Yeah,
That's great.
The team in front of us finished 12-5.
They played way less games.
Way less games.
So it was crash ratings.
Correct, and we beat them twice.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're still below them.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, and the cratch rating, we're like nowhere near them either. We're like 157 and they're like 295. Does anybody understand that shit? The cratch rating? There's a formula apparently,
Yeah.
but you need to be like a physicist. Like you need to be like an MIT physicist to.
Do you? Is it that complicated?
I've actually never looked into it, but I'm assuming
It's probably similar to like my hockey rankings, like
Probably.
the algorithm that they
probably.
use.
Yeah, it's probably not that.
Considers like your strength of schedule, goal differential,
Probably, but
wins, losses.
I would think so, yes. But I would think most people don't have the time or the patience to go do that.
Okay.
Some do. I'm not one of those people.
No.
Are you?
You know, when I paid attention to my hockey rankings
Mm-hmm.
much more closely,
Right?
I read into it.
You did.
Yeah.
See, I have zero interest.
I didn't try to like figure out how to do the math, but like I read into the details to get a little more familiar.
Okay, fair. I have zero interest in actually giving a shit as to why it is the way it is. Just tell me where I need to bring my kid and what time, and I'm good.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
I'm with you on that.
That's kind of where I am now. Yeah.
Otto told me that we're going to be in the playoffs. I don't.
He mentioned that upstairs. I heard him say that. He said you guys are not necessarily backing into the playoffs, but you guys are like one of the last ones in.
Wow.
Like a
that surprises
wild
me.
card spot or something like
I
that.
have to look into that.
I think there's an upper and a lower though. No,
Is it we're in the what do you call it?
I don't know how that. I'm not even sure that's true. By the way, the upper and the lower.
In the participation trophy bracket.
Listen, more hockey. That's all it is.
I guess. I mean, I guess I'll take it. Who knows?
It's fine.
Who knows?
How'd Otto do this morning? Since we don't have any games,
Otto, yeah, he did all
so
right.
tell us how he did.
Yeah, it was an early game. I thought we were past these like 7:15 a.m. starts.
That's like- that's
40
like-
minute away.
That's like Mike stuff.
yeah, no doubt.
You know, like
I
we're not supposed to do that
wasn't
anymore.
thrilled about it. I was like up at like 5:10 this morning. I woke him up at 5:45.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won. The team that they played is not good.
No.
So I'm not surprised they won. But like it's the end of the season, and it's like we just keep on seeing more like the same selfish play. It's like
that's
like
hard.
everyone wanted to get their goal.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted their cookie. There was no like
tough.
there's no team
Yeah.
aspect to the game. Like at this point, like it's like the season's so like we're
Over
towards
and
the
done
end.
with?
Well, it's not over. It's towards the end, but like it's just
hard.
honestly, it's like really it's frustrating to see that like certain types of like on ice behavior, if you will, are even allowed. Like these
You would have
kids-
thought that would have been nipped by now.
These kids should be
Some of that
like
stuff.
like, I don't know, we've talked about this a bunch, but if it was me, it's like, if you're not going to pass the puck, there's your seat on the bench.
That's right.
If you're not going to back check hard, there's your seat on the bench. If you're not going to be first on puck, or at least make it look like you're going to be first on puck, you can sit on the bench. Like it's like there's no excuse to let these kids continue to have these bad habits. Like it's beyond.
You know, it's funny. It's funny to hear you say that because so I think, and I'm not making excuses for people, and I'm talking kids now.
Yeah.
So because they don't know any better, right? So you would think that moving the hockey puck would be like a priority for any coach, right? Like if you don't move the puck, you sit, like you said, right?
The puck gets there faster than anyone else will.
100%. No question about it. That's how the game works. The puck moves, right? You know, so what's interesting is that I can almost guarantee you, and I don't, this is just me speaking, but this is my thoughts, that kids don't move the hockey puck because they are not sure they're ever going to get it back again.
There's definitely trust. There's
Right.
definitely, it depends. Like, so if you're on a line and like you don't trust that the kid that's on the ice with you is going to be able to do something positive with the puck, they don't pass it.
Right. And it's not, it's the wrong move. It's the wrong mindset. Like you have to move the puck. Regardless of whether it comes back to you or not, you have to move it. Because that's how the game is played at the upper levels.
That's part of it. And the other part of it is if like kids see they have space, they'll take the space. But even if they have an open teammate who's further down the ice or in a better spot,
correct,
like just because they have the space, they'll decide to take it when it's not necessarily the right move.
That's right.
And like ultimately, like, you know, I know a lot of these kids, they want to score goals. And that's the only thing that, not the only thing, but it just seems so evident today is that like, it's such an opportunity when you, and I get it, it's hard when they're young, but when you're playing a team where you're clearly better than them, like that's the time where you get your kids together and you say, hey, listen, we're going to work on team play. Like we have possession more.
Yeah.
You're going to have more time and space.
Just keep
like
moving.
I want you to work on this. Move the puck low to high in the offensive zone. Move the puck east to west when you're like, you know, in the neutral zone. Like create space, work it back to the D. Go D to D. Like instead you have people, they
play
get the
keep
puck,
away.
But instead the kids see that they're like individually better than those individuals, and they're going to do, you know, like try to stick handle or skate around.
Things.
Like it's
I know.
And look, I get it, they're kids. So yes, but I think there's a responsibility. Like, so these kids are 11 and 12.
No, there's responsibility from the coaching staff.
From the coaching staff to be like, this is not okay. This 100%. Is not the way the game of hockey is played.
And I agree.
And
kids should be sat
honestly
down
like
if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I mean, I haven't said much of anything all season, but like, you know, maybe I should have sooner. But like,
I mean, listen, season's over.
No, I know, but it's just not. Not okay.
The hockey puck has to move, and if the hockey puck doesn't move at certain levels, then I agree. There should be somebody should sit down,
you know, like
just to teach how it's supposed to go.
But here's the thing,
because you don't want that kid doing this their entire, you know, younger career, and then when they get to high school, they get sat down for like games at a time, and then that lesson's harder to learn. Then
it's harder to learn it as every season passes.
No
but here's
question.
the thing, also, right? Like even though I'm saying it like I'm a bit like charged about this right now, but like none of these conversations need to be in a negative way.
No,
like,
they don't.
These are
normal conversations between coaches and players.
Yelling. Yes. It doesn't have to be like, hey,
100%.
you know, like what the hell are you doing out there, kid? Take a seat. It's like they're teaching moments. It's like, you know, hey, Timmy, look, this is what I need. We've talked about this before. We talked about this in practice, and I already told you twice today. I need you to move the puck. You didn't move the puck on your last shift, so this is what I need you to do. I need you to take a seat during your next shift, and I want you to watch so-and-so and so-and-so, and I want you to see how they're moving the puck.
And the next time you get out there,
is that something that you can do? Yes, coach, I can do that too. Okay, well, when you go out there, I want to see you do that. Because that's how you play the game of hockey.
Correct.
Oh, Billy, you know, we've talked about this for the last couple games. You have not been back checking hard. And what does it mean when you're not back checking hard? It means when the puck's going towards your goalie and you're still in the offensive zone, you need to skate harder, faster to get back to help your team defensively.
That's right.
And if you're going to keep like both hands on your stick and just kind of wait to see if they turn the puck over and you're open for like this long stretch pass, like that's not playing defense.
No, it's true.
So if you're going to keep on doing that, Billy, you know, then you're going to be sitting on the bench because that's not how you play the team game.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. And I think that some coaches don't want to go down those roads with kids. I don't know why, but they don't.
But that's their job.
I agree with you.
Like,
you're gonna get no pushback
like
from me.
Flat out, that's their job.
Of course it is.
Parents are not paying thousands and thousands of dollars.
You're not wrong.
To not at least have a coach be willing to hold kids accountable for doing the right thing.
Some parents are okay with their kid holding onto the hockey puck and going into.
Okay, but that's listen. I understand.
Those parents don't mind.
I understand that.
I'm not saying it's right. It's 100% wrong.
Okay, but so there are some parents that if their kid is being a puck hog, like they're okay with it.
Yes.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the things you see, I still see, at my kid's age, kids shooting the hockey puck from like outside the dots from like just an awful angle.
Yeah.
Instead of like moving the hockey puck.
Yeah.
I still see that.
How about
first year Bantam?
How many times do you see these really? Because it happens all the time in the NHL. But how many times do you see these like kids hang on to the puck when, and then they're like really wide, and it's a very low angle shot.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Super low
That's
percentage.
Exactly what I'm
like,
saying.
You know,
those low percentage,
and they're
awful
shooting at
angle
the kids' heads
outside the dots or outside the circle,
and then
where there's nothing to shoot at.
And then they shoot the puck, and then the other team ends up recovering it
because it rims around, and all of a sudden you're on an odd man rush.
So why are you not hanging on to the puck, making an escape turn? Like these are
or
things,
even just cycling it. I mean, it's just something.
Anything but
shooting the hockey puck from that awful angle.
Even if kids don't understand the concept of cycling,
yeah, right.
Because that requires like coordination between multiple people.
Yes.
Right. But as the puck carrier,
yes.
Like if you get into a position where you got a really shitty angle or it is very low percentage, like I need you to peel away, hang on to the puck,
escape,
and
turn away,
find a trailer.
Toward the boards. Yeah.
Find a trailer.
Absolutely.
Find,
the defenseman is going to be coming into the zone, or the center is going to be coming down the ice. Somebody's going to be open. Yeah. Somebody's going to be open, or just roll it around the back of the net for the opposite winger. Something.
Right, but just don't give it away.
Well, that's the thing. They take these awful, and it happens. I can't even tell you how many times my kid's been open for like a one-timer.
Yeah.
I can't.
Crickets.
Even tell you. I can't even tell you. I'm thinking of how many one-timers he's got this year. I'm going to say one.
Listen, I mean, I honestly, I'm not. I don't think my expectations are very high.
Listen, it's frustrating as a parent.
Like based on what I'm saying, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like I'm not asking coaches to work miracles.
It's very frustrating as a parent. It's very frustrating. I would love to see coaches start sitting kids down. I would love to see that. I would love to.
But look, as a coach, right? Like if that's,
I'm not talking effort. The kids got effort. I'm all for it.
Right.
But like I'm talking like not moving the hockey puck
as an example,
and not giving effort. If you're giving effort and you make a mistake, I could fucking care less.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit. You know what? Good for you. If you're going to make a mistake, make it going 1,000 miles an hour.
100%.
And the coach should not sit anybody down for that. But if you're not moving the hockey puck, and you can and you should be, that's something I think you should be sat
when
down
I talk
for.
with Otto sometimes,
or back checking, like you said.
Otto will get like he'll hang on to the puck for like let's say he gets in the offensive zone, he gets the puck, and then sometimes even in the defensive zone doing on breakouts, like the puck will come to him and he's very quick to pop it off his stick, thinking that like he wants to get it like into the centering the puck to like a center that's like curling up in the defensive zone or centering the puck.
Yeah,
but I'm like, dude, don't just throw the puck away. Like the
puck
number
possession
of
is huge. These kids don't understand.
I would
that.
much rather like have someone steal the puck from you,
of course,
than you just throw it away.
No question about it.
Like
they get nervous and they hot potato the puck.
Oh, okay, so fair. Yeah. Like, and if a kid, and I'm not saying 100% of the time, but like. I don't know.
I know. No, listen, I get it. It's frustrating.
Like
anyway. I don't know how many coaches teach like puck possession at a younger age, or passing. There's very few coaches that I.
How about this? Don't teach puck possession. Teach don't throw it away.
Well, yes. But there's very few coaches that I've seen at a young age that will sit you down for not moving the hockey puck. There's few of them.
But that's shot like that's beyond.
I know.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't get
I'm agreeing with you. I think you're 100% right.
Like okay, if
they're
or
poor effort level. Poor effort level. You sit down.
No doubt.
And you don't need to say anything to them. You can say you don't need to yell at them. Say gently, "Hey, listen, your effort on that last shift was not up to speed.
Yeah,
and we're gonna put you out there again. I need you to do a little more. And if you don't, I'm not talking like 8-year-olds either. By the way, I'm not talking like mites. All right, we also have to kind of give some context to this. I'm talking older kids, right? There's a certain age where coaches need to start
I think
like
Pee-wees
coaching.
is totally reasonable.
I'm fine with that. That's fine. you need to start sitting kids down for not giving effort or not moving the hockey puck.
But part of this, from a coaching
And they
perspective,
will learn.
Yeah, but listen,
They will learn. Trust me, they'll learn.
Listen, as a coach, if you set those expectations
early
at the beginning of the season,
correct,
and you maintain good lines of communication with the families, that there's that everyone's they're all aligned. You're telling me that there's one parent that in the beginning of the season is going to say, like, to a coach who's saying, as a coach saying, listen, I want to make sure this season all of your kids develop good hockey habits that are going to set them up for success.
That's what you're paying for.
Do you think any parents can be like, no, I don't want that?
Of course not.
No,
that's what we're paying for.
Yeah.
You're paying for development.
Right.
Period. You're not paying for team wins. You're not paying for playing time. You're paying for development. Period.
No doubt.
Stop. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're paying for. That's what a tuition does.
So in any event.
Yeah.
So I didn't see a lot of that this morning.
I get it. It's frustrating.
And
I understand.
It hasn't been just this morning, but
okay, listen. Well, listen. All right,
Anyhow,
good. So season the one, like I said, silly season is upon us.
It is upon us.
Silly season is definitely upon us. There's a lot of crazy things going on. I'm hearing from a lot of different people. Yeah, man, we're in one right now.
Yeah,
or some people are in one right now.
Yeah,
not everybody.
Some people are on the outside looking in. Some people are on the inside looking out. Some people are feeling really excited about what's about to come. Some people are shitting in their pants. Some people are fucking pissed.
You see everything.
It's like the whole gamut of things.
You see every emotion right now
from
coming from like the lobbies of like hockey rinks.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, there's only so much that's in your control as a parent.
It's true.
And even just I'm not talking about right now, but like stories from last season where it's like coaches will make commitments to families and players only to pull it out from underneath their feet when it comes tryout time because someone else has decided to agree to it, and it's like, and coaches also from the same way, they're like, I only trust what a family says once their check clears. So it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, you need, I think, on one hand, like, coaches are trying to build teams that are not necessarily compiled of the best players, although it's usually the criteria, but they also consider the families.
Although our interview today would say different.
Well, I think that it's a very important part of the equation. It's you need the best players with the best families. Right?
That's right. Yes, correct. Not the best players,
but the best players with the best families.
That's right.
So throughout that process, I mean, you got to cast a wide net as a coach.
True.
Right? If you're trying to bring players in, and families are going to say one thing and then maybe do another to keep their options open. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's both ends are playing that game of chess.
I think that's true.
No, it's definitely true.
I think it's true. Yeah. Listen. Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
And then you also have to be self-aware about how good or not good your kid is.
Well, yeah.
And if you lack that awareness, if you think your kid's better than he is, you're probably setting yourself up for disappointment.
There's no question about that. I think you see that time and time again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Probably in every sport, not just ice hockey.
No, it's definitely not just ice hockey.
Yeah.
No.
But listen, like our interview, like you said today, he's like, let them have fun, watch, talk to them, let them develop, let them do their thing.
Yep.
Hopefully they turn into a good person, right? Listen, it was a good interview though.
Yeah. So, drum roll.
After you. We have USA hockey captain Mike Eruzione here.
Yo, let's go.
For our interview. I mean, the guy was I don't know what to say.
Amazing to talk to him.
Oh my God.
And it's so interesting. It's and I feel like this is true, even when we talk, and when you're in the thick of it, and when you're in the weeds, and when it's everything, there's a magnifying glass, some of the things, so many things feel so important. And then you talk to people that are had illustrious careers and all of the success and the achievements. And when they think about what are the most important things to get out of the experience. Yeah. It's being a good person.
It was the ongoing theme with his
work.
interview.
It's developing good habits, work ethic.
Yep.
Treat people kindly.
Yep.
Be a good teammate.
Yep.
Work hard. Compete. These are the things.
Respect.
These are the things that they all believe are the most valuable.
It's true.
But when you're in the middle of things, it's no, we got to do more skating. We need to do more this. And while it's a combination of both.
Yes, it is.
But like, I think people lose sight of like the bigger
I
picture.
think you're 100% right.
You know,
by the way.
and
yes,
yeah,
we want the multi-sport athlete. You know,
Yep.
the put your hockey bag away, go do something else. It'll make you a better ice hockey player by going and doing something else.
Right.
You know,
it's like the short-sightedness gets like highlighted in a lot of these conversations.
it does.
Yeah.
There's a lot of short-sightedness.
And look, I would also think,
I was short-sighted when I first got into this.
but here,
Yeah,
but
listen, it is what it is.
my butt to this
Yeah.
is
Not
that
anymore, but I was.
no, but it's the same thing like with like progress. Like it's not like a straight line, right?
No, it's
It's
not.
not ever linear. And like, you know, when things are like, you know, even think about relationships, it's like, you know, and you know, it's you sometimes you give more than you can take, and sometimes you take more than you can give.
Yeah.
And I think with, you know, development, there are times where you are going to push harder on like some of these more short-sighted things.
Yeah.
But or on aggregate, you're like you need to be focused on what is going to be in your kid's best interest developmentally,
Right.
like, you know, from being a good person, from, you know, being a hard, you know, a good competitor,
Yep.
you know, a good teammate. Like those are the things that look, because the truth is what, like how many players are actually going to go to the NHL?
Not a lot.
How many players are going to go play Division I NCAA?
What do you say? 1%?
Yeah, whatever the percentage is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you want your kids, if they are passionate about hockey,
Listen.
right? Then you want them to have, and
Yes.
you want to set them up to have as long a road as possible playing the game that they love.
Yes.
And it might be club hockey.
You want to,
It,
yes.
you know,
you want
it
to
might
make
be whatever it is.
Yes,
So
yes.
to sacrifice, you know, like some of the more important things for whatever it is, chasing a letter or, you know, I don't know.
Now, listen, I think the ongoing theme of everybody we're speaking to, right? They're all saying the same things, right?
Yeah.
It's work hard. You know, you don't need to be, you don't need to play hockey, you know, every single day or every single, you know, month, every single, you know,
Correct.
you know, put the bag away, go do something else.
Yep.
Just be active, just be an athlete,
Yep.
right? And come back to ice hockey if you like it, obviously. But, you know, they're all saying the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
from Doug Christensen to, you know, Ryan Murphy to Jim Dowd to Mike Eruzione to, they all say the same thing, Scott.
Yep.
I mean, we're having the same, not say the same conversations, but the same answer keeps popping up
Right.
with everybody we speak to. You know, be a good person. You know, hopefully hockey, you know, turns your kid into a well-rounded kid so he can go out into
The real world.
and
be like
succeed.
A successful,
Right?
highly functioning individual.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's kind of what, you know, in my opinion, I think ice hockey does a good job of that.
You know, and when we were talking to him about
really
that
do.
today, and you say that often, and like, you know, when you say that, sometimes I'm like, well, you know, like, okay, so what are the things that like would contribute to that? And I really had a moment this morning thinking like, okay, and this isn't a knock on any other sport, but
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about it. Like there's like very early mornings.
Yeah.
There's very long car drives.
Yeah.
Like the amount of sacrifice just to like sometimes to get to a practice or to
Correct.
like whatever it is. Like there
To a
are
game, to a tournament.
right. You're the travels more like it's. And the skill, the prerequisite skills to be a successful hockey player. I mean, like, first of all, you need to learn how to skate. It's not a game that's played on your feet. Like
There's no
as you-
skating in baseball. There's no
Right.
skating in football. There's no
Right.
skating in soccer.
Right,
Right. There's
right.
there's no skating in this in
they-
basketball.
and the speed of the game,
Yeah.
the amount of the decision making and the amount of information that needs to be processed in such
In a
short
very
period
short period of
time.
Yes.
You know, it's like you need to be like have explosive strength and
Yes.
physically. Like it's just
Ryan
there's-
Murphy said something about that. I don't
Yeah.
interview with him from the
Yeah.
New Jersey Devils skills coach.
Yeah.
He said the reason why we're seeing, I think our question to him was, if you remember, I asked him, you know, why is today's hockey player so goddamn good? And he said the combination of ability, speed, right? You know, stick handling and speed, and the ability to process that in such a short period of time
Yes.
is creating these unbelievable ice hockey players.
Yeah.
Which is your Macklin Celebrinis, your your Connor Bedard.
I mean, it's so fast.
Dude, it's just, they're just getting faster. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, the it's interesting. I was listening to what used to be Power Tech Hockey, but now it's BioSteel
Right.
podcast. Those guys are great.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how they now have an academy, BioSteel Academy. There's
Right.
like in Canada. It's
Right.
I think in like Windsor or somewhere.
Right.
Just north of the border. In any event, so they're seeing like they have like, you know, student athletes now.
Sure.
And they're observing these kids in like academic settings as
Yeah.
well as on the ice.
Yeah.
You know, and they're, you know, they have, you know, just like with hockey ability, there's different academic ability.
Sure there is.
And there's some kids that Coach Eric was saying that like in the classroom setting,
Right.
like they're not slouches, but they're not like, jumping at you as like, super like,
high end students.
Right.
Yeah,
but then he went on to say, but then you see them on the ice and the
Isn't that
intelligence that they have on the ice and the amount of information they process quickly, it's like it's
different
next level.
Yeah.
So
compared to how they are in the classroom. That's interesting.
So it's like, whether it's a different type of learning or a different part of your brain or whatever goes into
it probably
all that
is.
stuff.
Yeah.
But he was just saying how like there are some kids that, are not jumping off the books as like, academically,
in the classroom,
like academically, but then you see them on the ice and their like intelligent level is their
hockey IQ
beyond.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
It's like they watch these kids who aren't like, they say like, how do they even think to do that? Or how do they even make that read? It's
isn't it interesting?
Very interesting.
Listen, people have gifts, right? I mean, it's, some people are good at, studying books.
Yep.
Right. Some people are good at, everybody has their own special superpower, I call it.
Yeah. What's your superpower?
My ability to communicate.
Communicate. Yeah. That's your superpower.
I have the gift of gab.
You have the gift of gab.
I do.
That's your superpower, gab?
That is my superpower.
Superpower, gab.
That's my superpower. I'm very good at that. And I'm very good at networking.
Networking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's my thing.
That's good.
Yeah. That's my. I tell Dom all the time. I go, dude. I go, every single person in this world has a superpower.
Yeah.
You just need to find what it is, and you need to make it as powerful as possible. Some people are tall. Some people are short. I mean, everybody has something different.
Yeah.
Right. Some people are fast. Some people are slow. Some people are strong. Some people are weak. Everybody has a superpower.
Yeah. And you just got to lean into whatever it is yours.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
use it to the best of your ability, and it will take you places.
It will.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, you want to kick it over to...
I do.
Let's do it.
Because it was a sick interview.
Let's go.
Here we are, everybody. Mike Eruzione, USA hockey captain, 1980 Olympic team. Mike Eruzione.
USA.
That's right.
USA.
There we go.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Crazy Hockey Dads podcast. And boy, do we have a guest for you today. Today's guest needs absolutely no introduction, but we're going to give him one anyway. Mike Eruzione, captain of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, the miracle on ice, one of the most iconic moments in sports history, hockey history for sure. Oh, yeah. But beyond that, Mike has spent decades involved in the sport as a player, broadcaster, speaker, and ambassador, sharing lessons, leadership, team culture, belief, and doing something bigger than yourself. And it's just an honor to have you on the podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
talking hockey.
That's it. All the time. Can't get away
from it. All the time is right.
So as we were talking just before we got started, one of the things we love to do is just kind of hear about, our guest's journey into the game of the sport and just kind of what it was like, kind of persevering the highs and lows and like what that was like from a family dynamic and maybe like what things worked well for you, like what things, were more challenging. So yeah, would love to hear your journey, as a youth athlete.
Well, it's probably going to disappoint a lot of the hockey parents out there. I started skating. I was, I think, 9 years old. They used to freeze the tennis courts down the street from where I lived, and I didn't have any ice skates. But my sister had these white figure skates that I fit into, and my friends were, going down to the tennis court. So I thought, geez, I might as well go too. So I went down, and hockey's a macho kind of game, and I was learning to skate. And the problem was these white skates had these blue pom-poms on the toes because that's what my sister's figure skates were. And I'd get around and try to play or learn to play, and I'd get cold, and I'd come home. And in those days, you could save S&H green stamps. And my mom saved up stamps, and I got a pair of Hyde ice skates. And I think I was 10, maybe 10, maybe still 9. And I got the pair of Hyde ice skates and took up hockey because my friends played.
Sure.
We didn't have a team in my hometown, but the town next over called Revere, Mass. had a youth hockey team, and one of my friends played for Revere. So he talked to the Revere coach and said, yeah, if Mike wants to play, he can come and play. So I started playing for Revere. And then when I was 11 or 12, Winthrop, my hometown, started a hockey program. And we used to pay 50 cents on Saturdays to go to the learn to skate or, youth program. And I would, I can remember standing out in front of my house at 6 o'clock or 6:30 in the morning, and somebody's parent would pick me up and take me to practice. And that's kind of how I played hockey. And then next thing you know, and when it got warm, I played baseball. Then as I got older in high school, I was actually an all-state football, hockey, baseball player. Probably played more baseball than anything.
Oh, wow.
Hockey was something you did in the wintertime.
Right.
Sure.
And that's kind of my youth as a hockey player. It wasn't anywhere near what my kids did and what my grandkids are doing now. I mean, you'd play once a week, maybe twice at best, and you played for your town,
Right.
a town team, and you played in a league. And it wasn't till maybe junior high school that I would play in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
And in high school, obviously, you played maybe a little more. And then, obviously, when I was in college, you played even more than that. But, I'm a big believer in multi-sports. I think being a baseball, football player made me a better hockey player. Don't have the benefits that kids have today with the rollerblades and everything that they do. But I get it. Times have changed. Life has changed. But my hockey life was very simple, very basic. It wasn't anything extraordinary. Probably my parents didn't have the money, and I know it's way more expensive now than it ever was when I played.
My
Sure.
goodness.
But my dad worked 3 jobs. My mother took care of 6 kids, and
Unreal.
they would drop me off at the rink and go home. And then they'd come back and get me, or a parent would drive me to practice, or a parent would drive me home because my dad was working and my mother had to stay home. So
Right.
very, very different time. And I get it and I understand that. But, you asked me the question about my hockey career.
Yeah.
That's how it started. And I'll probably bring you even further than that. When I was in high school, I wanted to play football, hockey, and baseball in college. My grades weren't really good academically, and I ended up going to prep school for a year.
Okay.
Up in Maine, a place called Berwick Academy, with the hopes of going to the University of New Hampshire. I wanted to go to UNH, and I wanted to play football, hockey, and baseball. And the football coach really liked me. I was a wide receiver, and I could run a little in those days. And baseball was kind of my sport.
Right.
But UNH, the hockey coach, didn't think I was a Division I player, so I had no school to go to.
No.
The only school that recruited me for hockey was Merrimack College, and they were Division III then. They weren't Division I. So I accepted a scholarship to go to Merrimack College. You'll get a kick out of this. It was $3,500 room board tuition.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
1973.
Oh, my.
So I'm going to Merrimack, and I'm all set to go to Merrimack. And in the summer, I played baseball in the summer. And I got a phone call from a friend of mine. They had a summer league game. They were playing in the summer league. Do you want to play? He said, a bunch of guys, I guess, went to the Cape for the weekend. I said, well, I'll play. So I showed up and I played in the game. And as it turned out, the guy refereeing the game was this guy named Jack Parker.
Unreal.
And I didn't know who Jack Parker was. I didn't even know who the referee was. And the game was over. And this guy came over to me, said, hey, I'm Jack Parker, assistant coach at Boston University. We have a kid from Canada decided not to come to Boston University. Would you like to
Wow.
come to Boston University?
Wow.
He said, I remember you from high school. Where'd you go last year? So I told him where I played at Berwick Academy. He goes, what do you think? I says, well, I'm going to go home and talk to my father. I'll come to the office the next day. So I went home and told my dad the story. And he said, what do you think? I said, Dad, I'm going to go to BU. I can play there. I think I can play there. So I got in the car, drove to Boston University, sat with Jack Parker, told him it has to be a full scholarship. I said, my dad can't afford $3,500. He goes, no, it's a full scholarship. So I ended up at Boston
Wow.
University. So I try out for the varsity, and I made the varsity. I was kind of playing on the 4th line. Wasn't playing a lot at that time, but playing, a few shifts in games. And the head coach, Leon Abbott, who's a great guy, but I wasn't one of Leon's guys. He got fired right before Christmas. Jack Parker became the head coach. And I went from centering the 4th line to playing left wing on the 2nd line and led the Terriers in goal scoring my freshman year.
Oh, my
Unreal.
goodness.
So that's my hockey story.
Isn't it funny how things happen?
Yeah. Well, you play in a summer league game, you end up at Boston University. But I'm going to go one step further, and then we can get into the rest of our conversation. So I go to Boston University. Obviously, had a pretty good career when I was there. And the New York Rangers had my rights. They owned my rights. They had drafted me. So I went to camp with the New York Rangers and had a really good camp, really good tryout. And John Ferguson was the general manager. And he said, look, Mike, we really like, what you got, but we're not going to sign you to a pro contract. We still have Phil Esposito was playing then, Roger Gilbert. Ron Duguay actually was my roommate at rookie camp.
Oh, very cool.
So
That's
they had
amazing.
Duguay, they had Mario Marwa, they had Benoit Gosselin, they had some big draft picks, Mike Keating.
Right.
So we're not going to sign you. So they sent me to Toledo, Ohio. So I go to Toledo. I was paid every 2 weeks. I think I made $5,000, maybe $6,000 to play for the Gold Diggers.
Jeez.
We won the Turner Cup that year, which is equivalent to the Stanley Cup. I was voted the best American-born rookie. I had a really good year, and I'm going to sign with the New York Rangers. Well, John Ferguson got fired. Fred Sherrill became the general manager. Fred Sherrill called my agent and said, look, we're not going to sign any of Fergie's guys. Mike's free to do what he wants to do. So that's when I decided I'm going to go to try to remain an amateur. So I went to camp with the Colorado Rockies, and they sent me to Philadelphia, and I was playing for the Philadelphia Firebirds. And I was about to play my 9th game when I got a call from my agent, and he had spoken apparently to Herb Brooks that if I played 10 games, I'd be considered a professional. I would be a pro player. So I went back to Toledo with the hopes of getting invited to try out for the 80 Olympic team. So I go back to Toledo, played in Toledo, got invited to try out for the 80 Olympic team, obviously made the Olympic team, and we're having that conversation today. But if I had never, if John Ferguson never got fired, I would have signed with the Rangers.
That's
I don't
right.
know what my career would have been. I think I would have been a good player. I wouldn't have been a great player, but I would have been an NHL player, probably, that third, fourth line player, good penalty killer, good guy in the locker room, good guy in the community.
Right.
So that's how I ended up on the 80 Olympic team. So if you look at my transaction in life, playing in the summer league game, John Ferguson getting fired, all this led to me to be on the 80 Olympic team. So my hockey experience is a hell of a lot different than kids today.
My goodness, is it ever?
And I just that's how life works. But the game today is very different than it was when I played. And you got to be on a travel team, you got to be on a select team, you got to go here, you got to go there, and it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It's interesting that you actually bring that up. So one of the questions that we like to ask our guests, and you have grandkids that are playing, right? So I'm curious to hear your take on the youth hockey space today. Compared, like you obviously just showed us what you went through. What do you think of the landscape today?
I should switch seats right now and have my wife sit down and tell you. She thinks it's absolutely crazy. I think my grandkids have like 5 games this weekend.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they play for their town team.
Right.
They don't travel or select. They're good little players. They're not great players, although the 10-year-old's pretty talented. 10-year-old's pretty good player.
Right.
But when I go watch my grandkids play, I sit on the opposite end of the building, sometimes stand in the corner by myself, and I come to watch my grandkids play.
Yeah.
I don't sit in the stands and scream and yell like most hockey parents. I get a kick out of it. I stand next to somebody, maybe 10 feet away, and they're screaming and yelling, and I'm like saying, they can't hear you. They're yelling. Just watch the game, please.
Absolutely.
You have no control over what they do. And even when my own kids played, my 2 boys were good players. When the game was over, we'd talk maybe about the game and how it went, but I never, ever said a damn word when they were playing. You can't control what they do. They're out there doing what they're doing. You can't yell, pass the puck, Johnny, because he can't hear you. So it is very, very different. But I think, again, the cost of the game. We have user fees. I help out with our high school team. I've been doing it for 40-something years as a volunteer coach.
That's great.
And kids, have to pay to be on the high school team. And you'll get that odd parent and say, hey, how come my kid's not playing? I pay just as much as the other kid does. Now the head coach has to have a discussion. And the head coach is an excellent coach. He's been here for a long, long time, played in the NHL, played at Boston University. And when he has a kid complaining about ice time, he sits down with the kid and says, look, I want you, your mother, father, to come and sit with me. We'll sit with the athletic director. We'll sit with the principal of the school, and we'll discuss the situation. And you can't believe how many times the kid will go, oh, no, never mind. That's okay. I don't need that.
Isn't that interesting?
It's a way to handle it when you handle that issue.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not the kid. Sometimes it's the parent.
Sure.
Thinking, my nephew was a really good high school player, and I'm helping out the high school team. And my sister said, how come Bobby's not on the power play? I said, because he's not that good.
Right.
Plain and simple. We got other people who can play on the power play, and he was the captain of the team. He was a really good, ended up playing college hockey, but he wasn't a power play guy.
Right.
So I had to tell my sister, he's not a power play guy.
Right.
Oh, okay. And she walked away. But it's not easy.
It's great.
With the parents today. And again, the cost of the game, the cost of skates, the stick. My grandson, we bought him a stick for Christmas. My wife and I, it was $300. It broke. It broke halfway through his first game.
I'm sure.
So what I do is I go to the BU locker room. I work at Boston University, and I grab sticks that these guys don't use anymore. And I bring them home and I cut them in half and give them to my nephews and grandkids to play with.
Very smart.
So again, I'm talking a lot, and I know you guys got a lot of questions, but it is a different time. It's a different situation. I got a statistic the other day, and I don't know how exact it is, but 1% of hockey players in the world, not just the United States, in the world, 1% will play Division I college hockey.
Yeah,
That's not a big number, but
No.
then I'm talking
No, it's
Russia,
not.
Sweden, Finland. I'm talking a lot of areas.
absolutely.
But the odds of that, now the odds of getting a college education and playing college hockey somewhere is probably pretty good. There's a lot of great programs. You know, I talked to someone this morning whose son's playing at Bowdoin.
Yeah.
Bowdoin's a great school. Now, they're not BU, but they're awfully good. And the
Yes.
education is off the charts.
Yes.
So, I mean, don't think your kid's going to play in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
You know, think your kid maybe can get an education and play in college somewhere, someplace, or just have fun and play the game.
That's right.
And it's hard to explain that.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can always work. You don't have to play 6 months, 8 months, a year. You can always work on your game. My grandson's over here constantly shooting in the backyard, stick handling, doing things. You know, they don't have to be on the ice to work on your game.
Yes.
And then play when baseball starts, they play baseball. I mean, they play football right now. You know, I'm again a big believer in that. I think kids need to get out there and do different things. You can't live a life as
In a hockey rink.
at 10 years old or 11 years old in a hockey rink. Now, you know, if you're 14 or 15 and you got some talent, okay, maybe you start funneling into the sport a little more.
Right.
You know, maybe you're doing a little more because you know you're a pretty good player now. You know, you get a chance to maybe do something, but at 7, 8, 9, 10, don't get it.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons we're doing this. A lot of people are saying that, you know, and we're trying to bring awareness to that. The kid doesn't need to be on the ice 10 hours a week, right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
And when they're on the ice, they should be at doing skill stuff, stick handling, skating. No, you know, small area games. You know, things that when I watch Boston University practice, and I work at BU, my office is in the rink. You know, every Monday we have it's skills day. You should see the drills these guys are doing. And these guys, we have 19 players at Boston University who have been drafted.
Yeah.
Some of them are first round picks, and you know what? A couple of first round picks shouldn't have been first round picks, but you know they're here and they're pretty talented and they're good, but they constantly work on the skill part of the game. You know, skating, stick handling. The NHL today, the speed and skill is off the charts. How good they are.
Yeah.
It's a whole different level. And then as you get older, you get the influx of the European players now that are playing at BU. We got 2 Swedes. We got a Russian goalie, 2 Swedish players. So we're getting them from all over the world. So you're not competing just in your community and just your town.
That's right.
So it's hard.
Sure.
It's hard. And again, the important thing is if they have fun, play the game and have fun. If you turn out to be a good player, be a good player. But more importantly, as I tell my grandkids all the time, and I told my own kids, I don't care how many touchdowns or goals you get. Be a good person, be a good neighbor, be a good friend, be a good teammate, be a good brother. You know,
right.
be a good
person. Yeah.
That's so you know, it's easy to be nice. It's hard to be an asshole. You got to go out of your way to be a
It
mean,
takes, yes,
you know.
yes.
So those are values that are important in life, not just sports. Hockey's a
doubt.
game; it ends. I even tell Charlie McAvoy. I teach Charlie McAvoy all the time because you know he's a BU guy, and I always said to Charlie, Charlie, you know, eventually you're going to end up in the Monday Night League. I don't know when.
Yeah.
You know, you may play 15 years in the National Hockey League, but eventually
Right.
you're going to be in the Bear League with the guys on Monday nights. Some get there earlier than others, but
I was just
eventually
gonna say,
everyone ends up there.
Everybody has a different path there, but everybody ends up there.
Let me ask this. So from a hockey perspective, obviously the values and the life lessons that sports and hockey, you know, teach is something that, you know, we want our kids to learn and carry with them. But, you know, you've obviously played for tremendous coaches over your lifetime, you know, Parker, Brooks, you know, you're involved with, you know, you've coached yourself, you know, even with Pando now at BU, and being a part of the Terrier, you know, team. What are some hockey things, you know, that have stuck with you that these coaches have kind of instilled like over the years? Like, what are some of the things that like you've continued to pay forward, pass down, however you want to put it, from the different coaches that you've had along your way?
Well, the bottom line is a work ethic. Every one of my coaches that I played understood and taught us that you want to be the best, you got to work hard at it. It doesn't come easy. Success doesn't come easy. A couple of other things I talk about a lot of times is 2 words I use: trust and respect. As a coach, if your players don't trust you, you're in trouble. And if your players don't respect you, you're in trouble. as demanding as Herb was, as demanding as Jack Parker was, and that's how coaches coached in the 70s. It's a different era now. Don't yell at Johnny, you're going to get in trouble. You know,
It's definitely different today.
Don't yell at
Yes.
Susan, because mom's going to call you tomorrow and want to know why you're yelling at their kid. It was,
Yeah.
I trusted Herb. I respected Herb. I trusted Jack Parker. I respected Jack Parker. I trusted my teammates that I played with, and I respected my teammates. You know, if you don't respect someone, you're in trouble. If you don't respect yourself, you're in trouble. Respect's a big value to have. And I think it's an important value. And on a hockey team, it's way more important. Your best player has to be your best teammate. Mark Johnson was our best player in 1980. Mark Johnson was a great teammate. He was and still is to this day. Look what he's done as a coach at the University of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So the values of hard work and determination and respect and pride and commitment, those are values you have to have in life, not just in sports.
Sure.
And those are values that I think I learned at a young age. You know, I learned about sacrifice when I'd see my dad working 3 jobs to give me $1 to play hockey or get my skate shop, and it cost 75 cents. I mean, I'm talking, 50, no,
Right,
60 years ago. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand times have changed.
But he was working
I
hard
think-
for that money. Yeah.
That's right. And I think, today's players got to understand that hard work and dedication
Yeah.
and support that your family and parents give you, sacrifices. People who are successful, they make sacrifices, and whether it's taking your kid to the rink every day and sitting in the stands with a cup of coffee, a hot chocolate, watching him or her skate. Those are sacrifices that you make for your child. Never knowing they're going to be a NHL player, but just you want to support your children in what they do. And I think that's a value that I saw at a young age. And again, my dad and mom didn't go to every one of my games because they were working. My mother had to stay home and take care of the kids.
Yeah.
But
Right.
they were there to support me, and you understood that. And that's what they're there for, to support. Not to say, you should be playing more, not to say, hey, you got 7 goals today. Good, good for you, but go home and do your homework,
Right.
go home and do the things that are important. And so in a lot of ways, those are the things that are important to me. It's simple. You can't complicate it. You can't make it bigger than it is. It's
Right.
still a game and it's a sport and you're playing it and having fun doing it. But at some point that game ends, and at some point, guess what? Maybe you're not that good. That's
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. Maybe there are players that are better than you, but that doesn't mean they're a better person or a better kid.
Right.
Right.
Study hard in school. Grades are important. Being a good person, like I said to you earlier, is important.
Yes.
Not how many touchdowns or goals you get. So you get 8 goals. All right. If you're an ass, who cares if you got 8 goals?
I agree. And we Scott and I say all the time to the people we have on, the game of ice hockey seems to have a knack for creating good people, right? I mean, the people that we've seen in this game, for whatever reason, that's not everybody, right? Obviously, somebody's always going to be an asshole.
Oh, that's in every sport too.
Yeah, exactly right. But for whatever reason, the sacrifices, the hard work, the parent time, the money that we put into it, for whatever reason, it seems to create a good person at the end of the day, from what I can tell. Right? Does that sound right, Mike?
It's all that matters. I don't want to be an Olympic gold medalist who's an asshole.
Exactly.
Oh, he won a gold medal. What a jerk he is.
Agreed.
I'd rather have people say, he won a gold medal. He's a nice guy. He's a nice person.
Yes.
That goes hand in hand.
Mm.
And not only to say he won a bronze medal. Maybe he was just an Olympic. Maybe he's on a high school team. Hey, I played high school hockey with him. He's a really good guy, really nice, good teammate, good person.
Right.
Those are far more important, going out and scoring 3 goals and being an ass.
Sure.
That's how I look at it.
Now, I'm curious, your support system, when you were telling how your parents worked hard, if I'm not mistaken, you grew up in a 3-family house with a lot of cousins and uncles and aunts. Do you think that had something to do?
That I go out my backyard. I look to the left. That's the house I grew up in.
Oh, you're right by the
Oh,
house
wow.
you grew up in.
Oh yeah, I'm 3 houses from the house I grew up in. My wife
No
grew up.
way.
My wife grew up 4 houses from me.
Oh, you're
My
kidding me.
my son, who's a firefighter at Logan Airport, he lives directly behind me. He put a gate in as soon as he bought the house. My daughter lives down the street.
That's
Oh,
My daughter
unreal.
with the 3 boys.
Oh, so
And
you're in a very...
my one son lived next to my daughter, but he moved to Connecticut because his wife wanted to be with her family. And I said to her, "Who moves to be with their family?" So I grew up in a 3-family house. My mother's brother married my father's sister.
Right.
They lived on the 3rd floor. My father's other sister lived on the 1st floor. And there were 14 kids in the house that I grew up in.
It's unbelievable.
And when my mother was pregnant, my aunts were pregnant. So I have cousins that we played sports with our whole life. We had a little yard next to us. We used to play from stickball to half ball to wiffle ball, every sport that you could imagine we played growing up. And, you know, my mother would yell out out the window, "Come on up, it's time to eat." And we'd all drop our sticks and go up and eat and then go back out and play.
That's right.
And I get it. Today's different. I understand that. But it was great to live that life. And a funny story, my younger son, who's now, I think, 30, 38, 37, the kid who's a firefighter, his senior year in high school, the starting 9 on the high school baseball team were all relatives.
No
Wow.
way.
My son batted first, my brother's son batted second, my cousin's son batted third, his other son batted fourth, my sister's son batted fifth, my other cousin's son batted sixth, and the other one batted seventh. And I looked at my brother one time and I said, now you know why everybody hates us. He goes, "What do you mean?" He says that I said of the 9 players, 7 of them came out of the 3 family that we grew up in.
That's unbelievable.
And then we all went on and played. My brother actually went to Holy Cross and had 11 varsity letters at Holy Cross.
Oh, wow.
He played football, hockey, and baseball. He's an athletic director at Curry College here in
very neat.
Boston.
Sure.
Right.
My other cousins all played college football. Their kids all played college football, college hockey, college baseball.
Oh, wow.
So it was a very athletic and very competitive growing up, but it was also a family that understood the values of hard work
Yeah, I see
and
that.
dedication. And, you know, many of them went on to become teachers and educators in the community in the town here, and they still live here. I think there's 18,000 people that live in Winthrop, and 150 are related to me or my wife.
So you're
my
still in
God.
Winthrop. You guys are still there. in
Oh, yeah.
Winthrop.
Why change? You know, and I've said this
Yeah.
many times also. An athletic event obviously changed my life.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's done more and had more fun and enjoyed more from the success of the 1980 team than I have. But it shouldn't change who you are. You know,
Sure.
if we lost, I'd still be living in Winthrop. I've been with my wife for almost 50 years.
It's great.
Congrats.
You know, still be together. I'd be, you know, maybe I wouldn't be living in a house. Maybe I'd have an apartment. I don't know. Financially, obviously, things are great, so I can afford to do the things that I do.
Right.
And maybe I'd be coaching and teaching because that's what I was. You know, I was a phys ed major, and that's what I wanted to do is coach and teach. And obviously, I work at Boston University, so I do coach. I help out with the high school team, but not my work is travel. I still do a lot of speaking, corporate outings, and things like that.
Right.
So, you know, why should an athletic event change who you are?
Well
Sure.
said.
And I see that sometimes. I say, "Oh, what happened to Billy? He used to be a really nice guy. Well, he makes a lot of money now, so he's different." I don't get that.
No, neither do I.
Let me ask, just about like leadership, and could you just speak a little bit to like, the athletes that you're around today, like with high school and to whatever extent you are with like Boston University, like the leaders on the ice that you're seeing out there today, like what are some of the qualities that you're seeing in these kids? If there's anything that might be different, in these younger generations than maybe when, you were on the ice, but just, I think that there's a lot of kids out there that, want to, they have big dreams, right? But then also we talked about attitude and life skills, but if we could just talk about leadership for a moment, that would be really interesting.
Yeah, I get that question a lot of times. Leaders, you don't wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, today I'm going to be a leader."
Right.
At 15 years old, you don't go, "I'm going to be a leader." I think it's part of your personality, part of who you are. To me, I never thought I was a leader. I just thought I was a good guy, a good teammate, good friend. People respected me.
Yeah.
That's a leader. Those are qualities of leadership. You don't have to, be the guy that says this is what you should do. That doesn't make you a leader. What
Sure.
makes you a leader is people respect you. People try, and I use these words all the time. People trust you, that people respect you. That's part of being a leader. I was a captain of my high school hockey team, a captain at Boston University, captain on an Olympic team. But I've always felt I was, like an Olympic team. I said I was a captain amongst captains. These guys weren't just great players. They were all leaders. Mark Johnson was captain at Wisconsin.
Right.
Bobby Suter was a captain at Wisconsin. Billy Baker was captain at Minnesota. Jack O'Callahan was a 2-time captain at Boston University.
Yeah.
Kenny Morrow and Mark Wells were captains at Bowling Green. Mark Johnson, John Harrington and Mark Pavlich were captains at Minnesota Duluth. Davey
Right.
Christian, Neil Broughton, Mike Ramsey were all captains of their high school teams. So
Right.
that locker room was full of captains, full of leaders.
Right.
And but the one quality they brought to the table was they respected each other. We respected each other. I was the captain of the team. It wasn't, oh, I'm the captain, this is what you do.
Sure.
All of a sudden it would be like, what happened to Mike? He was a nice guy. Now he's a captain and he's an ass. So I think leadership is just having the qualities of being a good person.
Right.
And people respect you. People don't respect you, you can't be a leader, right? If people don't trust you, you can't be a leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you're the best player in the team doesn't mean you're a leader.
Sure.
Right.
And I think sometimes they get confused with that. I'm the
Right.
best player, so I'm the leader. No, you're not. You're just maybe the best player, but you're an ass.
It's true.
Be
Unfortunately,
be
you see a
be
lot
the
of
best
that.
player and a good person. Be a good teammate. Those are your leaders, and those are qualities that you carry in life. Not just sports.
Yeah. I'm curious, what was the tryout like for that Olympic team? I know they brought in, how many total people did they bring in? I know they cut it to 26 or 27 at first.
Well,
What
they
was
had 68 of us went to Colorado Springs and competed against each other over 2 weeks. They had
what it was.
They had a tournament, like it was called the Olympic Festival.
Right.
And they divided us into 4 teams. Although there was a team Massachusetts, which I didn't make. They put me at the at-large team. So there was a team, a Western team, which predominantly Minnesota kids. Then there was the Eastern team, predominantly Massachusetts, Maine kind of players, Connecticut. Then there was the at-large team, and then there was a Great Lakes team. So I was at the at-large team with actually Kenny Morrow and Mark Wells were on my team at the Olympic tryout. So we competed against each other over 2 weeks. They had like an Olympic tournament. They had a gold medal game. Actually, the Great Lakes team that I played on, we won the gold medal. We won the tournament. And after the tryouts were over, 26 players were selected for the 80 Olympic team. And 26 of us went to Minnesota. We based out of Minneapolis.
Okay.
And traveled around the country. And throughout the course of our training, 6 players got cut.
Right.
He did bring in one player during the tryout. He ended up releasing him.
Was that Tim Harrer? Is that
Timmy Har, who was having a
Right.
great year at the University of Minnesota. But
Right.
as we said to Herb, if you're going to cut me, but replace me with one of the 26. Timmy was at the tryout in Colorado Springs, and obviously he wasn't selected just because he's having a good college year. Shit, we all had good college careers.
Right.
And eventually, the last 2 players who got cut was Jack Hughes and Ralph Cox. People talk more about Ralph. I think they were both actually cut at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
And then 20 of us were selected to be on the Olympic team. And the last cut came right before we went to Lake Placid.
Right. And right before you guys went to Lake Placid, you guys played against the Russian team at Madison Square Garden, right?
Yes, we played the Soviets in Madison Square Garden right before the Olympic Games, I think 2 days before the Olympics, and lost 10-3.
Right.
Oh my God.
But I got a goal. I got a goal in the game.
You were one of the 3?
I was one of the 3.
And that's where O'Callahan got hurt in that game, right?
Yes.
Or something along those lines?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we didn't know what Herb was going to do. I thought actually Herb was going to cut Jack and bring in Jack Hughes because we didn't know if Jack could play. And, now we're only 19 players. And actually, Jack only played maybe 2 games or maybe 2.5 games. But Jack was a huge part of our locker room. Yeah, you talk about a leader and somebody that people respected. And I think Herb felt if he can get back to play, which he was able to, he was valuable to our team.
Right. Herb was something else.
Sometimes you have players that are important off the ice as much as on the ice.
Sure.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. So I'm curious. So from what I can tell from the movie and all the documentaries I've watched on the 80 team, did Herb play mind games with everybody? I mean, you see them bringing in Timmy Harrer or, saying to Jim Craig, I'm not sure it's your net anymore. I mean, like, was he just, or Robbie McClanahan, he, in the movie, which I'm not sure if it's true, but in the movie, he's when he gets hurt, he's like, get your gear back on. Was he just playing like psychological games with you guys?
Well, he was a brilliant motivator. And yes, he did go after Robbie in the locker room, and Robbie went after him in the locker room. That was real.
So that was
real.
I'm
sitting there with Mark Johnson going, Magic looks at me and goes, 1 period, and he's already flipping out. But he was a great motivator. He was a great motivator. He knew what to say and who to say it to, like me. You yell at me, I get mad and I work harder.
Mm.
You don't have to yell at Kenny Morrow. He'll figure it out sooner or later. You don't yell at Mark Johnson. He'll figure it out. But you can yell at Jack O'Callahan. You can yell at Phil Vercoda. You can, he knew what buttons to push. Players are motivated differently. Some players need a hug. Some players you need to talk to. And great coaches understand that. Because you don't know what's going on in their head. You don't know, maybe things aren't going well at home. Maybe his mom or dad are sick. Maybe there's other issues that you're dealing with. So it's important to get to know the personalities of each player that you coach. And like I said, you yell at me, I'm not going to turn around and quit. You really? I'll show you. And by Herb picking out what we call his whipping boys, by doing that, he was sending a message to the team. If he's all over me and Phil and Jack, and he's pissed off, hey guys, we better pick it up. So again, that was the great part of him as a coach. And again, I'll go back to trust and respect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the HBO documentary, but it's spectacular. I mean, Netflix rather.
I watched it last night.
It's unbelievable. So that scene in when we're playing the Czechs and the kid cross checks Mark Johnson. Mark actually had a slight separation of his shoulder. You saw her react on the bench, and what a great message to his team, to the players. He's got our back. As much as he was, as much as you doubted sometimes, he showed right there and then that he cared about you. And that was a subtle message to us. Makes you want to play harder because you know he's there. So was he demanding? Absolutely. But that's how coaches coached in that era. That's how you deal with it. So I think, that his personality, he made a decision. It was going to be us against him. He made that choice. I mean, after we won, you saw he didn't go on the ice and celebrate with us. If he did, it would have been, now you want to be our friend? Now you want to be our coach?
Right.
But he made that choice partly because there were 9 kids on the team that played under him at the University of Minnesota.
Right.
There were 12 kids on the team from Minnesota. And Massachusetts and Minnesota kids did not get along because of the rivalries. Wisconsin and Minnesota because of the rivalries. So Herb made a decision. It was going to be good cop, bad cop. And he was going to be the ass. And Craig Patrick was going to be the good guy. And unfortunately, till the day he died, Herb pretty much stayed true to who he was. I mean, I got to see a little different side of him when I was doing the telecast for the Rangers and he was coaching the Rangers. I'd, spend a little more time talking with them and maybe have a beer or something.
Right.
But I always tell a funny story. Here I am at home with 3 kids and the phone would ring. This is before cell phones. And my wife would answer the phone and she'd call me and she'd say, it's Herb. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to yell at me. What did I do wrong? I got 3 kids in the house and I'm worried about Herb yelling at me at my age. So he still had that aura about him, but he was a man that we truly, respected and trusted.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this: in terms of your success over the years, is there any lesser known facts that maybe don't get talked about as much? Obviously with the the gold medal and beating the Soviets, but in terms of just hockey broadly speaking, are there any lesser known things that you think are were important to you in terms of persevering, continuing in your hockey journey, just continuing to make it to where you did?
Well, I think one thing that's always missed in the shuffle is the Finland game.
Sure.
Everybody thought, what are we talking about the whole time? The Soviet game.
Yeah, that's true.
If we don't beat Finland, we're not having this conversation now.
That's true.
Right.
You're not calling me up and saying, hey, Mike, geez, if you only could have beat Finland.
Right.
So people forget that. And I'm going to give you a statistic that I didn't know about until maybe last year. In the 3rd period of the Olympic Games, we outscored our opponents 16-3. That's an incredible number. That's an incredible number. Finland didn't score in the 3rd. The Soviets didn't score in the 3rd. Sweden didn't score in the 3rd. Czechoslovakia didn't score in the 3rd. So all the Herbies we did, all the skating we did, all the conditioning we did, we dominated teams in the 3rd period. Another thing you don't know going into the 3rd period of the Finland game, we're losing 2-1. I don't know how many guys in the locker room were standing up going, there's no way a bunch of Finns are keeping us from a gold medal. The best 20 minutes of hockey we played all year were the final 20 minutes against Finland. We totally dominated the 3rd period. We scored 3 goals. We win 4-2. So I think a tribute to a little known fact, a tribute to my teammates. I mean, we didn't. I mean, clearly we didn't suck. I mean, we could play.
Right.
No, you
We
all
could
could play. Yeah.
You know, and the average age was 21 and a half years old. It was the youngest Olympic team we'd ever put on the ice. So
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
our youth we used to our advantage. Our speed was incredible, team speed. And here's another thing to you hockey parents at home. We would play 4 lines constantly. And sometimes we would play 4 lines in 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Wow.
Think of that.
Really?
You're on the ice for 15 to
off.
20 seconds, gone. The only line that would stay out a little longer might have been Mark Johnson's line because Mark was so good.
Right.
Your shifts might be 20 seconds long. 30
Wow.
seconds, you're out there alone.
Right. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, so those are the little things that people don't know. Neil Broughton, after the Olympics, went back to the University of Minnesota. He was the first recipient of the Hobie Baker for Outstanding College Hockey Player.
Oh,
As you well know, Kenny Morrow went from the Olympics to 4 straight Stanley Cups
Yeah,
with the
Yeah.
Islanders.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So,
That's right.
so you know, those are little things, you know, that people probably don't think about. But from the hockey standpoint, like I said to you parents at home, you're out there on the ice for a minute. You're out there way too long.
Way too
So
long.
we would, like I said, we rolled 4 lines.
That's
Wow,
unbelievable.
look at that.
And you think you guys all came together because of how, like you were saying, you have Wisconsin and Minnesota and Massachusetts. You think Herb just molded you guys together over that 6, 7, 8 month period?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
But
unbelievable.
I also think anybody, and you guys are in hockey, that's the mindset of a hockey player. You realize right away how important your teammates are.
Yeah.
Hockey's a family sport.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a bonding sport that
Agreed.
stays with you forever. You know, it's a community of people that, you know, kind of go through the same things. I remember, you know, one of the great things about Jack Parker, years ago, we had a kid he recruited, and the kid was a really good player. And he came up to visit with his dad, and Jack, you know, walked him around, talked to him. So when it was over, the father came in, sat with Jack, and said, "Hey, my son's really going to like it here." And he says, "Your power play, you know how you run your power play? You know, I think he'd be perfect." And so Jack sat with the guy and talked to the guy. And then when the conversation was over, Jack said to him, "Look, if I end up recruiting your kid, I just want you to know this is the last time we'll talk hockey." And the guy got up and left, and Jack never recruited the kid. The
Wow.
kid went somewhere else. You know what Jack's philosophy is? If you don't want the parents, you don't want the kid.
So
No doubt.
true, by the way.
So
That-
you parents at home, it's a decision your son or daughter has to make. When I see a kid on campus, and I meet with a lot of recruits when they come on visit, men and women, for other sports as well. The soccer coach might call me, and I'll meet with a kid, and his parents are there. And I always say to the kid, "Look, if you want to come to Boston University, you come because you want to become. You want to come here, not because mom and dad want you to come here.
Right.
You come here because you want to come here. Because if you're coming here because mom and dad want you here, and you're not happy and you're not playing well, you're going to complain to your parents. I told you I never should have came here."
Yeah.
You make that decision. If this is where you want to come, we'd love to have you, but don't come here because, you know, an aunt or uncle tells you to come here. You come
Yeah.
here because you want to be a terrier. You want to play at BU.
Right.
And again, those, I think, messages to parents. Stay away. Let your son or daughter make the decision on what they're going to do. Support them. Be a part
Yeah.
of what they're doing. But if you're not playing, don't be Kevin, call the coach and say, "Hey, how come, you know, Susan's not on the ice?"
Sure.
It happens all the time too, Mike. We see it.
Well, again, the cost of the
Constantly.
game. I'm paying a lot of money
Yeah,
for my
yeah.
son and daughter to play. You know,
Right, there's
skates are
entitlement.
how much, sticks are how much, ice time is how much,
Yeah. It doesn't
Yeah.
help.
and
It doesn't help.
it's hurting the game. You're almost recruiting kids that financially have some background, some you know. I'm not saying everybody, because there are kids who work hard and parents work hard to give that son or daughter the
Yeah.
opportunity, and they turn out to be great players, and they're playing college hockey somewhere or doing something. But you got to understand that the price that these parents are paying for their son or daughter to play is high. It's unlike
Okay.
any other sport.
You know, that's what we find,
for
like
sure.
when we see these like crazy hockey parents, like the amount of money that they pump into like private lessons, especially at the younger ages where
Yeah.
like they do have a lot of influence over their children. But there's this sense of like entitlement, return on investment that they need to like see on the ice. And if they don't get it, they turn into like, you know, absolutely crazy people.
Yeah.
And it's wild to see. And the number of people we've talked to just about like how unnecessary it is at like the younger ages, like before puberty, especially, is just, it's wild.
Yeah. And I had another kind of funny story when my son who lives in Connecticut, I think Michael's 41 now. He was playing youth hockey, and I was just watching him play. And there was this one parent who was pretty vocal, and he's yelling, "Go, Johnny, go, pass the puck." So I went over and I said, Johnny, said, "Do me a favor." I said, "When my son has the puck, don't be yelling at him. Don't say anything. One, he can't hear you, and two, he's not going to pass the puck because you told him to pass the puck. He's got to pass it because he thinks that's what he's supposed to do." So word spread. When Mike's son's on the ice, don't anybody say anything. Don't yell anything.
Oh, really?
So people would go, Johnny, go, Billy, go, Pete. And then when my son would have the puck, there'd be silence.
They'd be quiet.
He would say a word. Then he would pass it to Frankie, and he'd go, Frankie, Frankie. And then Michael would get it, and it would be silence.
That's fantastic.
So I nipped that in the butt right away. He said, "Don't yell at my son when he's playing. I'm his father. I don't yell at him.
Right.
And I don't want him passing the puck because you told him to pass the puck. He's got to pass it because he thinks that's what he's supposed to do, not because he heard it from you."
Yeah. So how about in terms of like all your years at the rinks, do you have any like ultimate crazy hockey parent story that like you've like witnessed, been a
Gotta
part
be
of
something.
No, because I
No?
don't sit with the parents.
Oh, right.
okay.
That's
I
true.
stay by myself. My wife has told me stories though
Yeah.
about, some of the parents just screaming and yelling,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
a couple of parents throw out the F-bomb once in a while. I'm like, understand they can't hear you. They're 50 feet, 50 yards away. You're in the stands.
Through a pane
It's
of
cold.
glass.
And glass, and they got helmets on.
That's right.
So no, when my son played high school football, I would go and sit on the other sidelines and the other team stands
Oh, really?
and sit by myself. I came
Yeah.
to watch my son play,
That's right.
Right.
and that's why I'm there. And when the game's over, if we want to talk about the game, we can talk about the game. But if he doesn't want to talk about it, we don't talk about it. But I would bring up points during the game after the game was over. Say, "Mike, you had that one-on-one. What were you thinking?" And we'll talk about it. But
Right.
okay, at least I was thinking of doing this. Well, at least you were thinking.
Right.
You didn't so those are the
right.
conversations I always have with my kids. And my wife's in the other room. She's going to yell at me. But I was traveling, and my son Paul had a baseball game. And I missed the game, and I said, "How'd Paul do?" She goes, he had 3 hits today." "Oh, that's great." Put him on the phone. So I got on the phone. I said, "Paul, 3 for 3?" He goes, "What do you mean?" "Mom said you had 3 hits." I flied out to center field. I grounded to shortstop, and I popped up. He hit the ball 3 times. Therefore,
Right.
he had 3 hits.
Right.
That's the kind of parents you want to have.
Yeah.
Just out there supporting their son or daughter.
Yes.
And if they turn out to be good players, good for them. But more
Yeah.
importantly, hope they become good kids.
Yeah. You know what I loved just now, like the way that you were even talking about your conversation with your son, is that it was a question. Like, how'd you think you did out there? Or
Yeah.
like, what did you see during that play? It wasn't like, like
You weren't
talking to
telling
your
him.
child. You're having a
Yeah.
conversation about what they're seeing out there. And obviously you have the experience to kind of help him out if he wanted. But like you were even just saying, like, if he wanted to talk about it, we talk. If not, we didn't.
Yeah. Some parents didn't even play the sport.
Totally.
And now they're experts at it.
This guy right
I
here.
didn't play.
Right.
I was football, basketball, baseball.
There you go. But you were an athlete, so you understand
Yes.
what it's like to be an
Yeah.
athlete.
Yeah.
I can't tell my son what to do on a breakaway. I can't, after the game, say you should have did this or that.
Yeah.
He's got to know I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what maybe he thought he could go top shelf and it wasn't available. Maybe the goalie made the save. But
Right.
at least he's thinking about doing something, and
Right.
and give me your answer. And if his answer was, "I thought I could do this," then okay, maybe next time you might try to do this. And
Right.
that's how it ends. You cannot control, once you tie their skates and out they go. You can't control a damn thing, other than when the game's over, you help them take their skates off. You get in the car and you go home. Maybe stop and have a cheeseburger somewhere
Or
and
ice
talk
cream
about the
or
game.
something.
Talk about what it
yeah.
was like. Are you having fun? If you're not having fun, don't play the game. If you're
Right.
not enjoying it, don't play the game. Don't play because mom and dad want you to play.
That's
Don't
right.
play football because dad played football. If you don't like football, you don't like football.
Yeah, go do something else. There's plenty of other things
Be
to
a
go
good
do.
student. Again, I go back to what I said. Be a
Yeah.
good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
that's
interesting how that
that's my
happens.
take on life.
That's
Listen,
awesome, Mike.
it's a very smart one. A lot of people we talk to say the exact same thing. The kids need to like it. And unfortunately, Mike, a lot of parents, hockey parents, they ruin the game for their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
unfortunate.
listen, Mike, we've been on the call for 47 minutes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. I want to be respectful of it. Really appreciate you coming on. And really thank you so much for sharing your experience and perspective on the game with all of our listeners.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine too. You have the right to disagree, and that's just my opinion. My opinion's not an expert opinion. My opinion's my opinion, and if you like it, fine. If you don't, so be it. But
I'm with you.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Don't be silly. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're
we really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Okay,
All right,
you
thanks
guys.
so much, Mike. Take
Thanks,
care.
Mike.
Bye. All right, everybody, welcome back from a legendary interview with Mike Eruzione. Well, legendary for us, and I think he's a legend.
He is a legend.
But like, again, just I didn't realize, just over the course of from a young age, and just like being coached by Jack Parker and Brooks, and for someone that was like a kid of how many, and like growing up in a neighborhood,
big family,
like it's not, he's just.
It's crazy. He still lives in his old neighborhood.
That's also crazy.
I mean, dude, he pointed to the house I was talking about. I was asking him a question about the house he grew up in. He's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
He pointed to it.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
He's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He's like, it's right here.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
But I mean, just.
I didn't realize he was still in the town he grew up in.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Did you?
No, I had no idea.
I knew he was in Mass somewhere. I knew he was from Mass. But
Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't think he was the same freaking town.
Yeah, and then he's got his BU affiliate,
Yeah, he does.
affiliation, and
Yeah, he
he's
does.
helping coach high school out there, and he's clearly so.
I meant to ask him if he was going to the Bean Pot final on Monday night.
Oh,
Totally forgot to ask him. Shit.
let's go Terriers. Yeah.
Let's go BC Junior. No.
No.
Not Junior. Let's go BC Eagles.
No,
We're BC fans in our household.
well, we are not.
I know you're not, because you and your wife are both graduates.
Go
of-
Terriers.
I know. Listen, it's going to be interesting. I think BU actually has a better hockey team this year.
Yeah,
I think so. We'll see.
I think they've been underachieving.
I think both teams have been underachieving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Dom and I saw BC play at Providence earlier this year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Good game. We were debating going to the Bean Pot final.
Didn't you go last year?
We did.
Was that when you sat like 5 rows back next to the guy that was like big enough to sit in 5 seats?
Oh, dude.
That was at the Bean Pot, right?
Yes, it was. I paid a lot of money to be in like row 5 or 6,
Which was like
which is row 2 off the glass, or it's row 1 off the glass. We were like front row, and I did not realize I did not realize at TD Garden that row 1 is like row 6.
right. Well, why would you?
Exactly. So I had no idea. So I bought.
But you didn't go to like the map and see like where the seats were,
So I don't think I did
like a seat view.
I don't think I did a seat view. I think I did like a section view. I figured row 6, you're like decent amount off of the glass.
where it's like you're close, but you're not
Correct.
like
And you're behind the benches. I was assuming we would be high enough to see over
right.
the benches. I was clearly assumed wrong.
Yeah, you did.
And it's funny.
Ass.
And it's funny. Yeah, 100%.
Jackass.
100%. And it's funny.
Jackass.
I actually went back and looked. It's a great movie.
There we go.
Great movie. Great movie. Great movie. Now you're done. You've had enough. Now you've had enough. Bitch.
Yeah, totally, bitch.
Anyway,
so good.
So good. The second one, I was a little disappointed with the second one.
I didn't watch the second one.
I was disappointed. A lot of cameos from a lot of people.
Yes,
but
I
was
heard
li-
that.
I was-
But when I heard that, I was like, I'm not interested.
I was a little disappointed. Not gonna lie to you.
You hear that his he was in the news recently about like his daughter was in Chanel. Like this is such like a tabloidy thing, but it popped up on my newsfeed. And so
I did not. What is it?
his daughter was like in Chanel, and
Okay.
looking at handbags.
Right.
And one of like the people that worked there basically sized her up, not knowing who she was.
Like thought she was the nobody.
Like sized her up and just thought like she
Like
had
she's-
no business being
she's
in
just
the
browsing,
store.
yeah.
And like she, I think the woman said something. So I could be botching the
said
story,
something to
but something was said, and then the way I understood the story was that she ended up calling her dad. Adam Sandler came to the store, walked in there dressed like as he does, which is like
Probably in a Bruins jersey.
and like just
Pair
like
of shorts.
yeah, that untied shoes and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
uncombed
Hair,
hair.
I was just gonna say hair like all
100%.
over the place.
And apparently he went into the store and he bought like one of every bag, and he told the people behind the counter, "You should never judge
A book
someone by
its
the way they
cover.
look."
He's not wrong. Definitely not wrong, right?
Yeah,
It's true. Definitely true.
I would have then made sure that the commission went to everyone but that woman who said something to me. If there is commission.
I agree with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, that's a learning. That's like a lesson learned.
You never know, especially nowadays, dude.
Dude, I had a client back in the day, who was my first client ever. Can I just tell you? The man lived in like a rent control apartment in the city on Park Avenue, actually.
Okay.
Rent control building. When you went into, because I went into his apartment.
Okay.
And his place was, when I say a total shithole, I mean like a total shithole. Like
hoarder?
Not that bad, but like he collected like glass paperweights and
What?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, like stuffed animals. You're talking like a 75-year-old man, like unmarried, but his wife lived in Brooklyn.
He brought you to his bachelor pad?
Dude, he was my first client. I shit you not. He's married, but again, she lived in.
Did you get this guy with your networking skills,
She
your
was
superpowers?
No, actually. So yeah, his wife, like who was a Russian lady who, in my opinion, I thought like a mail order bride from like
Right.
Moscow.
Yeah.
Lovely lady. But they lived separately, which I
Okay.
guess, listen, some people do, not exactly the norm, but some people I guess do it.
Sure.
She had her apartment, he had his apartment. And again, when I say shithole, like this place was a major shithole.
Okay.
And like, and when I went there, he would be in like, and again, I'm not fucking joking.
Yeah.
He probably weighed like 500 pounds.
No.
He was super, super heavy. 450 maybe
Oof.
500. He was very big. He was all of 375 plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should have put all of his paperweights
Dude,
in a bag and told him to start lifting them.
So when I would a nice man, really nice man. When I showed up in his apartment to pick up a check from him.
Okay.
And he'd be in like
Speedo.
he'd be in like boxers and like a white t-shirt, like a white V-neck shirt
with
with
ketchup
slippers
stains on.
Oh, dude, you have yes.
Ugh.
And one of the most insane things about this gentleman is he was worth like $10 million.
No way,
Swear to
really?
God, yeah, no bullshit. Like, yeah,
That's unreal.
he had an account with me until he passed away. Yeah, I mean, it is fucking unbelievable. Hey, Scott, if you would see, like, we're talking about don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
He was.
But I would probably judge a person by like their boxers in their apartment and like.
Listen, hard.
You know what I mean? Like,
it was hard. Yes, when I first walked in there, I'm like, wow, this is a fucking waste of time. But I was wrong. I was wrong. Luckily I did not judge the book by its cover,
because like, what's that expression? The way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Yes,
I mean, like,
yes. Listen, he again, a very nice man. He's been dead for years.
Rest his soul.
But Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I can't even imagine.
What was his first name?
Louis David. I don't know how to say his last name. Yeah. No, again, very nice man. But what a fucking shithole. I mean, like it was.
How many flights did you have to walk up?
No, there was an elevator.
Oh, there was.
Yeah, it was an elevator.
I was
building.
imagining just like
no, he lived on like the 20-somethingth floor. But
dripping sweat.
It was a Park Ave building, and I'm telling you right now, they couldn't wait to get him the fuck out of that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, because this was.
Could you smell his apartment from down the hall?
No, it wasn't that bad. But this was a major apartment. But he had lived in it for Scott. I shit you not. He had to be there for 40 years.
Right. Wow.
Had to be.
Maybe he was so rich because of his rent.
Listen, don't think that's not part of it. You know what I mean? I mean, he obviously lived a very frugal lifestyle. Well, he spent money, but he spent money on
paperweights
and stuffed animals. It was pretty. It was pretty fucking wild, man.
It's unreal.
I mean, it was, but the guy was worth 10 million was probably on the light side, to be totally honest with you.
Fair.
He was probably worth like 15 to 20. And again, if you see him, the man was a fucking disaster. Total fucking disaster. Again, nice man, but shit, man. Total fucking disaster.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So we're talking about not judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did that come up?
Where
anyway?
were we even going with that? We were talking about like we all of a sudden like you made the
Adam
Happy
Sandler.
Gilmore comment. I'm not even sure how we got there. I was saying something important, but we went so far off the fucking
went
off the rails
rails.
there that I'm not sure where the fuck we were. I'd love to go back and like listen because I'm worried to forget to say something. But yeah, man, that was my client for you.
That's interesting. But getting back to Eruzione,
Yes.
what other?
Oh, we're talking about like his neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, I think this is what we're talking about. But the fact that he grew up with like 14 like brothers, sisters, cousins under the same roof, and
Yeah.
like six adults there. There were 20 people in the
Right.
3-family house that they lived in.
Right.
That was insane.
Well, how about the part when he was saying if that I don't my mind's already like
Yeah, I know.
blank, but if that one guy hadn't been fired,
Dude, the way shit happened.
the way he ended up not going pro, staying in amateur, and then going on. And then, it was also great, like when he was just saying, like, we talked about leadership and how he was the captain of the team. He's like, I was a captain amongst captains. Like, it wasn't like,
Yeah, that was cool.
That
was
just
cool
like he
conversation.
gave like a ton of credit to like all those around
all of his
him.
teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like really, I just got the chills just like even thinking about it. Like
That was a special team, dude.
Yeah.
Like that was a really special team. Like I was when he was saying that, I was thinking about our team USA that's over in Italy right now.
Yep.
And I was thinking like, are they that dialed in? Are they that dialed in that they're like that 1980 Olympic team? Because listen, beating Canada is not easy.
No.
That's a hard fucking team to beat. And I would say they're more skilled on paper, right?
Canada is.
Yes. So it's a very
But
similar
that's like,
situation.
what Jim Dowd was saying the other day when he talked about
Yeah.
the 95, like winning, like cup winning
Similar
team.
situation.
There's like
That
Niedermeyer
Devils team.
and there
Listen,
is Stefan Richer
there's-
and Claude Lemieux.
and
Like these
Scott
aren't
Stevens
these,
and Marty
these,
Brodeur. These are no slouches.
Marty Brodeur
No
and Scott
question about it.
Stevens
Yes.
like are two names that like a lot of people will know. More so Marty Brodeur at
and
this
Scott
point.
Niedermeyer was
Niedermeyer, no
they're all
doubt.
Hall of Fame guys.
But what I'm saying is that these aren't the guys
Claude
that
Lemieux,
when you
right?
think back to like the 90s, they're not necessarily. Brodeur and
it's
Stevens.
not like Joe Sakic.
These aren't the guys that are like popping up.
That's what I
know.
mean. It's Messier, right?
Sergey Brelin was on that team, I think.
Yes.
Pandolfo was on that team.
Pandolfo was there. They had a bunch of really, really good
Mike
hockey players.
Peluso was on that
Again,
team.
they
Remember
had-
Mike Peluso?
I do. He's
What a
on.
savage.
He's on NHL Network all the time now.
Is he?
Oh no, that's Rupp. Sorry, it's something. I'm not sure where Peluso is. But that's what I mean. Like, so I'm wondering if. So clearly, the 1980 Olympic team was structured like that. Clearly,
What do you mean like that?
like the Devils team that won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
Like,
but
they were a bunch of really good players
Yeah.
that came together and they defied odds by winning, right? Like, again,
But then also Brooks, like the coach, and how he decided like there was, and I've heard this before, but like you had the Minnesota
100%, yes.
and the Massachusetts kids, and like they were all kind of rivals, and the coach
Yes.
was like, no. It's like me versus them.
Which
and
is-
he galvanized the team around all hating him.
how brilliant.
So brilliant.
How brilliant of a strategy is that?
Yeah.
And he did that by fucking design.
By design.
That is wild to me that
Yeah.
he did that by design.
Right.
Like that was all pre-planned by him. Because he knew he had a problem with Wisconsin and Minnesota and Massachusetts.
Right.
He knew there was an issue there all
Right.
over the place.
Right.
Right. And he was smart enough to pit everybody against him.
Right.
And said to Craig Patrick, you be their friend. I'm just going to, and dude, he fucked with them so much psychologically.
Yeah.
I mean, the Robbie McClanahan thing in the locker room
Sure.
when he got hurt and the doctor said he had like an upper leg contusion going after him. It was, again, fucking brilliant. The Jim Craig thing, when he went to Jim Craig after he gave up 10 goals
Yeah.
against Russia when they lost 10-3 before they went to Lake Placid, he went to, and he's like, listen, he's like, I might give Janicek the net. He's like, I think we're going to sit you down. He's like, what do you mean? It's my net. He's like, dude, you just let up 10 goals. It's anybody's net.
Right.
But the fact that he did that to get the best out of people is fucking brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And like Mike was saying, he knew guys that he could start ribbing. So the rest of the team knew, oh shit, like he means fucking business.
Right.
I mean, he played so many fucking games. To bring in Timmy Harrer, he brought in Timmy Harrer like midway through. They were already a family,
Yep.
right? And he brings in Timmy Harrer, scoring a shitload of goals for the Gophers, and then they're all like, "What the fuck? What's this dude doing here?"
Right.
I mean, and they were all on edge,
Right. No
because they
one's
all
safe.
thought that they could be cut,
Right.
So they had to give their very best, and they did give their very
No
best,
doubt.
which again is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And it was all orchestrated by Herb himself.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's so interesting how like
Ridiculous.
nowadays it's like, you know, that's you hear about coaching tactics, and you know, it most often comes up with like, you know, younger generations and how like not everyone responds to like the same kind of stimulus, and that was true back then too. But I think just like culturally things are so much different where you know, coaches probably have to wear a lot more hats than they used to,
Probably.
and you probably
That's
have
probably true.
players that are not going to like fall in line if you
Yeah.
have someone that's such like a hard nose. But man, I tell you, like just listening to those stories and listening to how these, you know, kids came together, like, ooh, unreal.
It's, if you guys have not seen, if you hockey parents that are listening to this, if you have not seen Miracle, the movie Miracle, go watch it. And if you've not seen the Netflix documentary, which just came out like last week,
Yeah.
if you've not seen, it's called Miracle, The Boys of 80. If you have not seen those two things, please go watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, talk about defying odds.
Yeah.
I mean,
To say the least, because they got smoked by the Russians. How long before that game?
they 3 days before they left for Lake Placid,
Yeah,
they played them in
right.
Madison
3
Square
days.
Garden,
Yeah.
and they lost 10-3.
Got smoked.
And the next time they played them was in the game right before the
And
finals.
then listening to because
unbelievable.
Chicklets had Callahan on.
Jack O'Callahan,
Yeah, and
OC.
and he was saying how like after, and I forget which game or whatever it was, but the bottom line was like after like a win, he wouldn't let the team kind of like ride a high. They didn't want them to go into the next game like kind of cocky or whatever, thinking that they were better than they were, and would just be like hard on them and like skate them or make them run or whatever it was.
Yeah, man.
Just so that like the boys understood that like just because you won doesn't mean you know.
Yeah, listen, the game against Norway where they tied 3-3.
Yeah.
In Oslo, I think it was in Oslo, Norway. And that's where the famous Herbies comes from, right? I mean, he said to them in the movie, which is, you know, true to real life. He had them on the ice after the game.
Yeah,
and he's
until
like,
the lights went off.
He's like, "You guys don't want to work during the game? We'll work now."
Yep.
And he skated the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Until the fucking lights went off. The Zamboni guy wanted to come on, right? I mean, and clean the ice. He's like, "Nope." And he skated the shit out of them. I mean, listen, he wanted perfection,
You should listen to
or as close to perfection as possible.
Listen to the Chicklets because episode that just came out last
With
week.
O'Callahan?
Yeah, because he talks about that, and they asked him about it, and he's like, I wasn't even on the ice. He's like, it wasn't the whole team. Like, not everyone was
really?
dressed. And so he's like, I watched that whole thing from the stand.
He sat there and watched that. So there were 3 guys like scratched.
Well, so after the game,
No shit.
whatever it was, and he was saying how like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
how like they were about, you know, like because they were a team and they were like about to put on their gear because they knew that they were like, you know, the coach wanted them back out on the ice. And so whoever it was said, no, like, you know, just let's go out there, you know, whatever.
So they
And
watched that.
I think there were some players that ended up didn't skate it but watched.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's, listen, I mean, it was a special team.
Yeah.
You know, that was a special team. And there was some political stuff going on with the Cold War.
It was also on American soil, and
It was on American soil. The last time that, I think it had to be the last time the Winter Olympics were ever in Lake Placid. I don't think you'll ever see it again either.
no, I think it was. Wait, was there more than once at Lake Placid?
I don't think so, yeah. Wait a minute.
Was it before? I don't know.
I could have swore there was. I want to say it was.
You gonna look it up?
God, you look
Jamie,
it up.
look it up.
You want me to look it up?
Hey, Jamie.
That's Joe Rogan, isn't it?
Yeah, you can call me Joe.
You look just like him.
Joe who?
Let me see. We're
I do not look anything like Joe Rogan.
no, you don't.
Not even a little.
I could have sworn there was one in the 60s that was there. Sorry. 1932. I knew there's another one. So it's
Oh.
32 and 80. And I don't think you'll ever see another one there because I don't think they have
They have the infrastructure.
for today's type of crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But it'd be awesome.
Anyway, we're gonna go there soon.
We are going to go there soon. We are going to be there
ECAC.
for the ECAC conference finals, which will be sick. We're going to broadcast live from there. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well,
I'm looking forward to that. Special place.
Yes,
If you guys have not been, please go. Even if it's in the summertime, just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Place is awesome.
Was there once?
Only once?
Yeah, when I was a kid, we played a Can-Am tournament up there.
You have not been back since?
No, I skated on the rink of 80.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I was there once, and then that's it.
Place is awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have great memories. Like, not they were bad memories. I don't have like.
We're gonna have to give you some new ones.
We have to go up there and make memories.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give you some new ones from our time because I fully expect to be invited every single year to the ECAC conference finals now.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
All right,
looking forward to it. Hey, listen, good episode.
Yes, it was.
I like it. Sick interview. It was awesome.
USA.
Yes.
USA.
Here we go. And this episode's dropping one day before the U.S. men take the ice. So let's go USA. Bring home the gold.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Later.